join me as we talk all things true crime.
Made contact and shattered.
Delivery to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her, they've been yelling for her.
Turn it over to another agency. Let's get some help.
Where are your kids? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say? You're over here in Hawaii? Chad, where are Lori's kids?
4 were stabbed multiple times and were likely asleep during the attack. Some had defensive wounds.
Most of them had just like one that was the lethal stab wound.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Let me know if you guys can hear me. We'll do a little sound check quick. Good morning, CJ. It's good to see you. Steph, hello. Hi, Karen. Jen Lou's here. Hello, good morning. Hi, Allison. Thank you for all your help this weekend, Allison. Princess Megan Elsa's here. Marshall Dove, I seen, is here. Good morning. Who's ready to jump into this case? Let me make sure. Okay, sound is just fine. Thank you, Jen. So, hello, MK. For those who don't know, I have dove into this case before on my channel. For those who've been around my channel for a while, know that during the Johnny Depp trial, I had a video get stolen, and then my channel was flagged for reused content, even though it wasn't me that reused the content, it was the other person, but the YouTube bots don't know that, and they don't tell you which content is reused, so I had to go through some stuff and get rid of stuff that was like duplicated from other channels, like basically the body cam footage, other channels have shown. I didn't know if that was the reused content, so I deleted my research on Lorivallow's case. And so now we're kind of starting over on the channel, but I have a good grasp of the case. Whereas, Alex Murdaugh, I had known about it and then just jumped into it when the trial started. This one, I have a, well, good morning. I am Kim. I'm glad you're here. So this case, I kind of have like more of a base. So we're going to just restart our research here on this case on the channel. Good morning, Shay. It's good to see you. And Elaine, Kib Kitty. So I'm glad you're here, Wist. We'll just get into it. I have some clips that I've put together. It's pretty much going to recap the case. And then I've got notes here, and then I can just pause it and we can elaborate more. I'm curious, though, who is familiar with this case in chat? I feel like since there's been such a delay on this trial, a lot of people have to be familiar with this case. Not to mention, the Netflix specials and all that they've come out with. So, Chaddaybell is Lorivallow's fifth husband. She's had a few mysterious deaths of other husbands, and we'll get into all that. In 2019, Lori really kind of started to talk about the second coming. And this case is a little intense because not only does it deal with just, complete violence and neglect of children, so trigger warning, but it also has an aspect of, the cult life, very, very extreme religious angle to this. Yes. Thank you for saying the cult angle is trippy, because that definitely took the words right out of my mouth. And good morning, everyone. So, she started to really turn a bit extreme in her religious views. I believe it's kind of documented back in 2019. So, and it wasn't just that they believed the second coming was on its way, but Lori believed that she was the chosen one and that her and Chaddaybell were going to lead, the time of the second coming, etc. They were the chosen leaders. So we'll start playing the clips that I have. And then, like I said, I'll just pause it and we can just talk through the notes. So good morning, everyone. If we get to it, I do want to play some body cam from Charles, because I really do feel like that's a good place to start for this case. So Give me a like if you haven't done so. Good morning, Florida Bass Fishing. It's good to see you. And let me start playing this stuff. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a drink.
I have a wonderful husband, Joseph, at home, who is watching our two beautiful children, Colby, who's 7, and Tylee, who is 1. I want to go. Okay. Gopher, Doc, Isaac, and Captain Stubing.
Being a good mom is very important to me, and a good wife. Being all those things together is not easy, so I'm basically a ticking time bomb.
Felt the Lord was instructing me to do.
Lori was his follower. Chaddaybell's the prophet.
Chad had a vision, plagues, and foreign troops coming to the soil.
Chad wrote about his ability to communicate with people on the other side of the veil and see into the future after having 2 near-death experiences. His ideas also included the existence of past lives and that people could become possessed by demons or zombies.
Long story. She's had kind of a breakthrough reality. She thinks you're LDS?
Yes.
She thinks she's married to Moroni in the past.
You think she's what?
Married to Moroni at the top of the temple. I've tried to support her as much as I could, but it's gotten really, really bad. Lately she's had a break. She says, I'm Nick Snyder. I've taken over Charles' body. And Charles will get killed. I'm going to kill you. You're going to murder today or tomorrow.
How does she pose a threat to your children?
I don't know what she's going to do with them.
I just went back in the living room, like, what is your problem?
With the gun again?
Yes. And I said, I want you to put that bat down. He wouldn't do it. And he's like, and he came at me with the bat again after he'd already hit me in the head. So I shot him to stop him.
Gotcha. How long have you guys lived here? How long have you lived here?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, geez. Yeah, okay.
That's why the neighbors don't know us.
Gotcha.
Like, hi neighbor, sorry.
Are you calling in reference to a death claim?
So that kind of gives you a little bit of an intro. You know, Lori has been married a few times. Charles there on camera was, begging for cops to help her. His first name actually is Leland. So Leland Charles Anthony Vallow was 62 when he died. He married her in 2006 in Las Vegas, Nevada. He adopted JJ in 2013. And him and Lori did that together. So JJ was sort of their adopted son together. But he did file for divorce in 2019, but then he later dropped the divorce filings. And then, like we had seen, he's laying the groundwork for asking for help from the cops. And, it just didn't seem like they took him serious. But Lori had threatened him pretty much. And then Alex is Lori's brother. And Lori's brother shot and killed Charles Vallow on July 11th, 2019 in self-defense. Apparently she had a sister. So I'm just looking at my notes, and her sister died of diabetic shock in 1998. And apparently only Alex, the brother, was home at the time. And he ended up using her credit card after she had died. So, and then she had a daughter named Melanie. So Lori has a niece named Melanie. So after Charles gets shot by her brother, Alex, she calls the insurance claim company because she is under the impression that she's actually the beneficient for the life insurance. Good morning, Rebecca. It's good to see you. What am I doing up so early? I'm always up this early, trying to squeeze in a live stream before the little one gets up. But thanks, everyone, for being here. So this is a phone call with the insurance company before she realizes that she's actually not the beneficient. So it's just interesting to hear this. And then she ends up getting like an email from the insurance company pretty much telling her that, no, you're not the beneficient, blah, blah, blah. So her and Alex, I believe, conspired to kill, and Chad, Charles, and I believe that she's under the impression the whole time that she's going to get some monetary gain from his death. However, that's not the case, because Charles had already suspected some things were strange in their marriage, etc. Like it said, he filed for divorce and then ended up taking it back, but he didn't take back the beneficient for his life insurance. So that went to, I believe, his sister Kay.
Yes. Okay, one moment, please. May I have the name of the insured?
L. Charles Vallow.
And who am I speaking with?
This is Lorivallow.
And your relationship to the insured?
He's my husband.
Okay, one moment. Okay, ma'am, I'm just going to need to ask you a few questions so that I can open the claim, and then I can go over the claim procedure with you and answer any questions that you may have afterwards.
That would be great.
Okay, and what was the date of Mr. Vallow's passing?
July 11th.
And what was the cause of his passing?
Well, he was shot.
Okay.
So I don't know how I want to put that.
Okay. All right. And I hate to ask, but is it? Yeah, you can just say yes or no. Was it a homicide?
No, it was an accident.
An accident. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what state did he pass away in?
Arizona.
Okay. Just bear with me for one moment. I just need to pull up a few other things.
Okay.
Are you aware of who the primary beneficiary of the policy is?
It's me.
Okay. And may I have your, I'm sorry, one moment. My computer just went away for a second. Okay. Okay, ma'am. That is all the information I need to open the claim. What we will do now is review the policy and the file to confirm the beneficiary information and determine the claim requirements that we will need to settle this particular claim. Once we have completed our review, we will prepare a claim packet to send to the named beneficiary once that has been confirmed. And the claim packet can either be mailed or emailed or faxed. How would you like to receive a correspondence?
Email would be great.
Okay, and what is your email address? All right, so you should receive an email from our office within the next 3 to 5 business days or sooner. It will have the instructions listed. Once you receive the information, if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to give our office a call, and then we can go from there. Okay, is there anything I can help you with at this time?
That's it, I think.
Okay, ma'am. Well, I'm very sorry for your loss. You take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
J.J. Vallow and his sister Tylee Ryan have been missing since September 23rd. Their fathers are both dead, and their mother, Lori, is married to her fifth husband, Chaddaybell, whose wife, Tammy, died several weeks before their marriage.
I'm just going to pause it real quick because, like that reporter just said, JJ and Tylee's fathers are both dead. Tylee's father was Joseph Anthony Ryan. They married in 2001, and they had one child together, Tylee. They get divorced in May 2005, and then in 2018, he dies of a heart attack in Arizona. So then she met Charles and then married him in 2006, mind you, a year after her divorce, which doesn't really mean anything, but still, just for a timeline. And then that he, like I said, filed for the divorce and then dropped it, but took her off the beneficient for his life insurance, never told her about it. I can only imagine Lori and Chad's face when they found out that they weren't getting any life insurance from Charles.
Lori was previously married to Kay's brother Charles, who was shot to death by Lori's brother Alex Cox, who was also dead. The Woodcocks say they are aware of Lori's participation in an end times cult and say she believes she's a god.
She believes it.
She believes it. She's a translated being, and she's been here on Earth, I think, 4 times. As different, at different time periods.
2,000 years.
They believe end times obsession and selfish desire for their own gratification is what has driven this series of events that resulted in 2 missing children.
In their minds, the end is going to be July 22nd of 2020. That is when the second coming of Christ will be happening.
According to them.
According to them. And they are in charge of getting the 144,000 people that will be left to on earth to start the world all over again, I believe is how they say it.
They say before Lori was a loving, devoted mother. The Woodcocks have been on numerous national news programs and others across the country. They hope telling their story will help bring the children home safely.
All we want at this point is to get JJ, to find JJ and Tylee.
And to JJ,
I don't know what I could tell JJ right now other than dropping down to my knees and just holding him and just tell him how much I loved him, how much I missed him. And that goes for both of us.
They thank Southwest Louisiana for their outpouring of love and support and ask for continued prayers to find the children.
Well, my family, well, not my whole family, but
So the children hadn't been seen since September 2019. That was the last time anyone saw either of them. And the last time that JJ was seen was September 23rd when he was at school. We do have a little bit of doorbell camera footage of JJ last seen when he's leaving. I think it'll play in one of these clips. So this is her friend Melanie Gibb. I believe she helped her with some podcasts that they worked on together. A friend of Lori's, in my opinion, she's a complacent role in all this. Again, this is just kind of a brief review of the case. Everything's going to get so much deeper once the trial starts. And it's just, sorry, I'm just reading chat right now. I just wonder if she really believed all that. I believe she just wanted to be with him. Who, Chad? Like, just wanted to be with Chad? Wait, back the milk truck up. I thought the 144K are the people going to heaven and the rest will be here. I mean, not me. I'm whole heathen. I don't know, guys. This cult aspect and all that, like, it's got to be ironed out better. I just feel like right now we're just going to say she's an extremist in her religion and believes she and Chad are the chosen ones. And then we'll get into the details and all that. She believed it enough to be complicit in the deaths of her two children. I do think that some sort of break happened with Lori. Now, guys, help me out with this for those who know. In my research, I had seen over the weekend that at one point Charles had her admitted for like 72 hours during their marriage. Does anyone know more details on that? Because I don't think that's ever been like shown on body cam, because I'm assuming it was probably years ago. I don't know. Does anyone know about Charles having Lori admitted while they were married? Anyways, let's continue on. So the children are missing. They've been missing since September 2019. It's been a few months at this point in the story. And, now her friend is, trying to get some information out from her on this phone call while recording her secretly. And, okay, good morning, Butterfly Kisses. It's good to see you. Hi, Candace. So this is just their like secret phone call. Good morning, Roxanne. Okay, Rebecca, get some rest and we'll talk later.
Most of my family is working against me and with her, basically.
Yeah. Is JJ safe?
He is safe and happy.
Okay, well, that's good to hear.
So here she's asking her, is JJ safe? He's safe and happy, clearly lying. So after that incident, but after he went to the cops, they spoke to Lori and Melanie had encouraged her to go get checked. Okay, so she did. It was related to that incident. I believe he tried to have her admitted and she skipped out and lied about it, because that's the impression I thought. Charles tried to have her held on 72-hour psychological evaluation, but she skipped out. Okay, so it was just that one time. It wasn't like a previous incident. He tried to, but I don't think it was successful. Okay, so we are all on the same page that it was that time, after the body cam footage, etc. All right. So then whatever I was reading made it seem like she did go get checked, but that was never the case. Okay. She didn't go. Okay, thank you guys. I just want to make sure that I'm getting the history correct. So pretty much he had wanted her to get a psych evaluation and just take a timeout for 72 hours. She refused to. Got it.
Are you afraid of anything? Like, are you afraid to tell me that you're just afraid that that I could be in danger? Like like I don't, like if I knew, like how could that hurt me? I don't understand how that could hurt me if I knew where he was.
Well, I'm just not telling anybody so that nobody has to say where he is or get questioned to where he is, so I can keep him as safe as possible.
Yeah. Okay. I hope that he's okay. I hope you guys are okay. I did have a question that I asked Al at one point, your brother, if I wanted to know, like where he was, and he said I did not want to know, and that he could not be found.
So apparently Melanie has spoken with Alex, Lori's brother, about JJ being missing, and Alex told her you don't want to know. So, huge red flag. And we're going to get to what Chad's children have to say, but pretty much they're under the impression that it's possible that their father, Chad Daybell, was framed. Now Alex is dead because he had a heart attack. So, if he's the one that put the children there, it's just going to be an interesting trial, because not only is Chad's trial going to be separate from Lori's going first. Her story is going to be put out there. Her scenario and everything that her lawyers have to say is going to be put out there before Chad's. So it's going to be very interesting to see, are they going to blame Chad or are they going to blame Alex? And then when Chad goes to trial, is he also going to blame Alex? Like, what are you guys thinking right now? And for those on replay, let me know what your thoughts are.
What does that mean?
I don't know why he would say that, but it's the same story. Like I don't even want Al to know. I don't want anybody to know, so that nobody has to be worried about it. I mean, nobody has to be questioned about it, so he can be safe.
So the trial starts, Marshall Dove, I believe, in 3 weeks. We're just going to do a little rough review today. And then once the trial starts, we're going to set it up just like we did Alex Murdaugh. Do a little live stream in the morning talking about the trial the day prior. We won't have cameras in the courtroom, so it's not going to be like Alex Murdaugh where we can get like the visuals, all that. It's going to be audio from what I understand. So it's going to be interesting for us to kind of follow it, but I'm still going to do my same method, show the clips that are interesting, etc., and just work through it together. So I hope you guys stick with me during the trial when it starts in 3 weeks. And like I said, we'll be doing these morning live streams and then just following it that way. So the other thing that I also wanted to kind of lay out there is just another idea that I had for the channel too. So let me just play this and then we'll talk about that as well. Jen Lou says, personally, I believe Chad and Lori, despite appearances, are very much on the same page and will blame Alex. That's what I'm thinking too. Good morning, Cup of Color. It's good to see you. It will be audio from day before, just FYI. Oh, thank you so much. So by the time we get the audio of the day in court, it's going to be the day previous. So we'll be a day behind. And thank you for letting us know that. Oh, I'm hoping to be there on a few days. Wow, we'd love to hear your insight and your firsthand experience being there and what you're seeing, etc. So Kay and Larry are JJ's biological grandparents. The picture on the right is Alex, Tylee, and JJ. And allegedly, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but this is the last photo of them together. And Alex is with them both.
Was emailing her and texting her. We'd call her, both of us, leave voicemails.
So they're having a hard time, obviously, trying to get a hold of Lori and their, grandson, JJ. Florida Bass Fishing says, of course, Alex will be blamed. He was the last one pinged next to where the bodies were found. That's going to be Lori's defense. Totally agree. And good morning, Punksy. It's good to see you.
Both of us would, and just never a response, not a nothing. It just freaked us out because I just didn't know what else to do. And I was on the phone with the detectives all the time in Arizona. And then, here we go to, in October, we knew that they were bringing the FBI into this.
JJ and Tylee's extended family hired private investigator Rich Robertson for help.
I mean, that's the most mysterious thing. I mean, all of this attention and all of this speculation, all this anxiety would just simply evaporate if they just said, here are the kids.
Rexburg, Idaho pleaded with the public for help. 2 children were missing and hadn't been seen since September. 7-year-old Joshua J.J. Vallow was described as having special needs, including autism. Police said his 16-year-old sister, Tylee Ryan, was devoted to him. The FBI and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children were part of the search. Police said this doorbell camera footage was the last known video of JJ. But police said the children's mother, Lorivallow, wasn't helping to find them and had never reported them missing at all.
Authorities are still searching for Vallow's children.
Old J.J. Vallow and 17-year-old Tylee Ryan have been missing for more than 5 months now, and their mother, Lorivallow, still refuses to cooperate with police.
She's been in Hawaii with her new husband, Chaddaybell, for the past several weeks. Now the latest Dateline episode is shedding new light on what happened to J.J.'s father and Lori's ex-husband, Charles Vallow.
As we've reported, Lori's brother Alex Cox shot and killed Charles this past July in Arizona. But now new details about what else Lori did that day and how she reacted is raising some red flags.
And is he hurt or is he alive? Or?
Yeah, there's blood. He's not moving.
On July 11th, 2019, Lorivallow's brother Alex Cox called 911 to report he had just killed Charles Vallow, JJ's father and Lori's estranged husband.
I got in a fight with my brother-in-law and I shot him in self-defense. He came at me with a bat.
Lori, JJ, and Tylee were all home at the time. As police questioned Lori, she didn't appear rattled or upset, even laughing at one point.
How long have you lived here?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, geez. Yeah, okay.
That's why the neighbors don't know us.
Gotcha.
Like, hi, neighbor, sorry.
Arizona detectives say throughout Lori's interview with police, she wasn't fazed.
It was kind of like a happy-go-lucky. She was just kind of smiling. She was talking about how Tylee was going to go to BYU, Hawaii, and it was just a very, very nonchalant. You would have thought that we just, recovered their stolen vehicle.
Cox is shown here dabbing at a wound he says he got after Charles hit him with the bat.
It definitely didn't appear that he was struck with, an extreme amount of force to a baseball bat. Charles was a very physically fit man, and actually a former college ball player. So it didn't appear that it was a huge strike to the head.
The same day Charles was killed, neighbors say Lori threw a pool party.
How can everyone be so calm and, seemingly so unaffected?
That's Tylee's aunt, Annie Cushing. She believes that what Lori and Cox told police was a cover-up. And because the children were witnesses, that's why they're missing.
I do wonder with Tylee if she was asked to toe the line to keep everyone out of prison.
The day after Charles was killed, Lori told Charles's 2 sons from a previous marriage that their father had died via text message.
And I couldn't believe that she did that in that way. I mean, I wish she would have called me and said, can you please tell Cole? But to do it so brutal through a text.
And the text message reads, "Hi, boys. I have very sad news. Your dad passed away yesterday. I'm working on making arrangements, and I'll keep you informed with what's going on. I'm still not sure how to handle things. Just want you to know that I love you, and so did your dad. Heart, where is he, and what happened? I'll call you when I can, bub. He is here in Arizona. Where in Arizona? When did this all happen? How's JJ doing?
It was just, I mean, it was horrible.
And of course, we know that Alex Cox, he died mysteriously.
Tell us where the kids are.
But Lori and Chad stayed quiet, issuing a statement via their attorney at the time, calling Chad a, quote, loving husband and Lori a, quote, devoted mother. As the search continued for JJ and Tylee, East Idaho News' Nate Eaton tracked the couple down on the sunny island of Kauai, thousands of miles away from Idaho.
Just tell us where they are. Where are your kids? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say? You're over here in Hawaii? Chad, where are Lori's kids?
Heading out today?
No comments.
Where are your kids? There's a lot of people who are worried about your kids. Are you guys worried about them?
She says, leave us alone, no comment. What? Yeah, I love that reporter too. I love Nate, yes. Yeah, I have a lot of good reporters in here in these clips. There was Vinny from Court TV, all that. So, I mean, everyone's been following this case very closely and done a great job. So I had a hard time picking and choosing the clips because they're all very important and they're all part of this huge case. It's just, you know, so many layers to it. So thank you everyone for being here.
Got a search warrant for you guys.
Police executing a search warrant on the couple in their car found Tylee's cell phone and items belonging to JJ, but there was no sign of the kids. Authorities in Idaho had given Lori a January 30th deadline to prove the kids were okay, but she didn't show up. Then, on February 20th, Lori was arrested in Kauai and charged with felony desertion of JJ and Tylee and misdemeanor charges of resisting and obstructing an officer, solicitation of a crime, and contempt.
Now, when this case was breaking and we all were seeing those images of them being followed in Hawaii. I mean, I just remember I mean, this was what, 2019. So I'm still knee deep in the Chris Watts case at that point. But I just remember seeing these images of this woman and this new husband of hers in Hawaii, and they're being asked where the children are. I just remember thinking in my head, this is before I was a mom myself. Like, why does this lady think that she doesn't need to answer where the kids are? Like, the audacity was just mind blowing, you know? So it's just a long time coming, this trial. And it's, you know, about time that JJ, Tylee, and Charles and everyone else gets justice who are linked to this woman and, you know, Chad.
Lori made her first court appearance in Kauai before being extradited to Idaho. Her former high school friend, Bernadette Flores Lopez, couldn't believe the girl she remembered as a devout Mormon cheerleader was in the news for this.
I think she's so brainwashed and so far gone. This person that she's married to is writing books about Doomsday and the end of the world, and you know, I know her book, her Mormon religion don't teach that.
There's people around the country praying for your children, praying for you guys. Why don't you give us answers?
That's great.
That's great.
Even after Lori was arrested, she still refused to say anything about where the kids were.
Can you imagine Nate? He flew all the way from Idaho, that guy right there, to Hawaii. She doesn't say anything because earlier when they were showing him and she's like, leave us alone, that was to Dateline, so it wasn't to Nate. So Nate drives there, flies there from Idaho, and all she says is, that's great. You could just tell he was like so annoying. He's like, that's great.
Lori, where are your kids? How come you're not telling anybody where your kids are?
I found their address on Amazon in November, but you know, really by then it was way too late. I mean, they were both dead within 3 weeks of her moving to Idaho.
Detectives and investigators have recovered what's believed to be human remains. Chad Daybell's residence.
Allegations of zombies and doomsday predictions. Lori and Chad Daybell appeared in court today on charges related to the deaths of her two children. Prosecutors say the two used their religious beliefs in an effort to justify the murders.
Thank you, Rebecca, for looking up the life insurance policy. So $1 million life insurance policy, only to discover that she was no longer the beneficiary. Wow.
Of course, we know that Alex Cox, he died mysteriously in December. The results of his autopsy are still pending.
Think about all the people that had to die and disappear.
A web of 5 suspicious deaths and allegedly cult-like religious beliefs.
This is the search for a killer.
The penalty for the most serious charges range from life in prison to the death penalty.
Prosecutors claim the couple used their belief in doomsday scenarios to justify the killings.
That's a good question, SRB. She said, do you think underneath it all, Chad was actually scared of how evil she was? See, I'm like I said, I've been following this case a lot closer than it appears from my channel. Like, I know this case, and I'm still at the point where I can't decide which one is more evil, Chad or Lori. Like, I'm just thinking, like, was it her or was it him? Like, I'm at the point where I'm going to walk into this trial without a biased opinion on really which one of them is like the more evil one, which is sort of good, I guess. And then I'm going to see how I feel, because I was sort of thinking that too as I was editing this, you know, like, how does something like this happen? And then I see footage of her early years and, you know, and all that. But then I think about some of her husbands that have died mysteriously. Could she be involved with that, which would mean that she's the evil one before she ever even met Chad? Or is it they're both evil and two evil beings actually united and it just created this huge, you know, storm of events? I don't know. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking. Maybe. Yeah, let's unpack that. Said they both fed off each other. I think he is just as bad, BC said. No, it was pushed by Chad. I'm almost thinking it was sort of pushed by Chad in a way. But I don't want to just stick to like that's how I feel, etc. I want to go into the trial with sort of an open mind on that aspect, because I want to know myself, like, which one of them is actually the worst? Like, which one of them instigated the other? Or is it like we're sort of seeing that they fed off each other? Karen said they discovered Tammy was murdered, right? So did they cremate her, guys? Help me. Or no, maybe that was the one that they didn't cremate, so they exhumed her. Guys, help me recap what they're doing with Tammy's death. I do think that they thought it was, you know, out of not natural causes because she was so young, but I need a refreshment on that. Elaine too said they're both evil. Looks like she got in a dehydrator. She's definitely aged since the Hawaii shots. Yeah, Chad's trial won't be for a year, so we're gonna have a while for that. I'd hate to go second. Or is it better to go second, you think? Good morning, Adrian. Twin flames, they're both just as bad as the other, and it wasn't religion, it was money. Every death had a monetary profit for them, or at least they thought it would. That's a good point. It's for money, but do they blame it on the religion aspect so that they don't have to accept it was for money, or what? What do you think? I think Lori started acting weird as she read Chad's books and then met him. She was hoping she found eternal life. So he told her she was a translated being so he could get in her pants. Yeah, I think they did exhume her. They're reopening Tammy's case. Okay. I am not believing he did most of it. I believe Lori did. No, Tammy is buried with an autopsy. Okay, good. Thank you. Lori was manipulative. No, she wasn't cremated. Okay, thanks, guys. Lots of thoughts on this case, guys. Thank you so much. There's more I want to read. Let me just go through more of these clips, and then I'll refer back to chat. And thanks for being here, everybody. Thank you so much.
Daybell's son Colby can be seen calling his imprisoned mother.
How are you, Baba?
I'm not good, Mom. He confronts her with allegations that she killed his two siblings. Their bodies were found buried on her fifth husband Chad's property. He's also awaiting trial.
Lorivallow Daybell was silent as she faced multiple counts in an Idaho courtroom, including first-degree murder in the deaths of her children. Her attorney pleaded not guilty on her behalf.
Your Honor, she intends to remain silent.
Today's arraignment was delayed 10 months after she was declared mentally unfit to stand trial.
That's right, Wist. Thanks for reminding me. Tammy was buried, excuse me, and she was exhumed because I remember this, at the time of her death, Chad skipped the autopsy, right? He said no need for it to be like extensive or whatever. Like he just laid her to rest quick. So do you guys believe at this point when she gets told that she's not fit to stand trial, do you think that that was accurate at that point? Because they do this for a reason in some cases, you know, like if you're not fit to stand trial, then don't put them through the trial, because then they can appeal it and then use the excuse that they weren't fit, etc. So give her time to go get examined and take a time out, and now they can't use that excuse that she wasn't fit for trial, right? Do you think Lori actually wasn't fit, or do you think that she just did this to prolong the trial? Because in some cases they do just want to buy more time, etc. So I'm curious what your guys' thoughts on there. No, she was competent to stand trial. He was doing what they call malingering. She was on a lot of psych meds. It's all an act to prolong the trial. Very interesting. Melmac says to buy time. And good morning, Melmac. I believe she was competent, but I think she was malingering. Interesting. Stalling. Lori is great at manipulation. Good morning, crazy mama.
Last week, a judge ruled her competent. JJ's grandparents, Larry and Kay Woodcock, believe she knew what she was doing.
She was never incompetent to begin with.
It was a fallacy.
JJ and Tylee were last seen in September 2019 after their mother allegedly told friends her children were zombies. Lawyers for the couple declined to comment, but in 2021, Daybell's 5 children told me he was innocent.
Then why were their bodies found buried in your father's backyard?
I don't know, but I do know that if he were to commit a crime, he wouldn't be foolish enough to put the evidence.
How much does she look like her mother, Tammy? Like literally a twin. And do you believe that the children are in denial? Again, this is an older interview, so this isn't by this week by any means or anything like that. But this was a while after he had been arrested. Then they finally spoke out. Do you think that the children are sadly in denial, or do you think, you know, they have legitimate reason that their father couldn't do this and that, you know, maybe it was just Lori and Alex? Let me know your thoughts, guys.
In his own backyard. It was just so heartbreaking. My father needs someone to be.
Your father's backyard.
I don't know, but I do know that if he were to commit a crime, he wouldn't be foolish enough to put the evidence in his own backyard. It was just so heartbreaking. My father needs someone to be a voice for him, to let people know what's real, what we know.
I can understand how it's easier to be ignorant than to realize what's right in front of you.
Prosecutors say evidence includes text messages and GPS data leading to where the children were buried.
Did your father, Chad Daybell, play any role in killing JJ and Tylee?
No. It's completely unthinkable.
How is it possible 2 children are found buried in your father's backyard and he had nothing to do with it?
He was framed.
I would have never thought you would have ever done something like this. What is it that you think that I've done?
Are you sorry for me, or are you sorry for my siblings?
I'm sorry that you don't really fully understand the situation.
Lori Daybell can only ponder how her once promising life has led her to this.
It's just so hard to know where the truth ends and then fiction begins.
There's no way, Logan. I should have never come up with this.
All right, those were the clips that I had put together for you guys. Kibby said Chad able to brainwash Lori, so kids probably brainwashed also, in my opinion. I think it's a level of that also. I think, you know, much like all of us when we were younger and just naive, you just don't know how evil things can be out there. And then added on top of it, I think they're also, to begin with, probably sheltered kids anyways. So they just cannot comprehend that their dad would be a part of this. I think it's just not registering. And when it does, I really worry for them, because I think that it's going to really affect them all, obviously, for the rest of their lives. All right. So what I want to do, since I've played those clips for you guys, and I hope you guys liked them, I want to just pull up the body cam footage from Charles that day where he, is trying to get help from the police. I think that that is a good place to start. Let me just get it set up, because it's just part of the story. Charles, Tylee, and JJ were missing children. So everyone got to know their faces and their names. Charles, I think, gets sort of lost in the mix, and not in a way that I think that people want to just forget him. I just think that, like I said, the children were sort of pushed out to the media and in front of all of our faces because they were missing children for months. And so the story was built around like these missing kids, and then they were found deceased, etc. Well, rewind it all the way back to the year prior, because the kids are found in, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but 2020. The year prior is when Charles is on body cam footage seen trying to get help for himself and for Lori. He's desperate to help his wife at this point. He did file for divorce, but he, took it back. He obviously loved her. And sadly, I think his love for her was his downfall, because he had no idea how unstable she was, I think, and dangerous.
So is she in there?
What's going on? Why is she here and you're not here, or are you staying here with her?
Long story. She's had kind of a break from reality. She thinks you're LDS?
Yes.
She thinks she's married to Moroni in the past.
You think she's what?
Was married to Moroni at the top of the temple.
Angel Moroni. LDS. Angel.
They don't let
She's
me
got
in there.
probation, and she knows when the second coming is happening next year. So
And it's like, I kind of have to laugh at what the cop just said there, but at the same time, it's like, no, dude, this is serious. He's saying it's a long story. She's kind of had a break from reality. She thinks she's married to, some being from the temple. I don't know. But he mentions the temple, and the cop goes, they don't allow me in there. Sort of as like a little joke, but it's like, buddy, this is important. Hello. Yeah, exactly. Charles did not deserve this. And he's doing everything he can at this point, Yeah, it's so sad. Desperately trying to explain the crazy. That's what I mean. It's like he's he can't even get into it all. He just starts off with, this is a long story. And just like Alex Murdaugh, when he said that when the cops arrive, like they're both long stories, but like this is one where it's like, I just wish there was more grasp on, but what can they do? Just like that podcaster that was killed a few days ago. She had done her due diligence with cops and filed that protection order, etc. Like they're doing things that we're supposed to do. Charles is reaching out to law enforcement, etc. He wanted to get her admitted for 72 hours. He did the things that he had to do, and he still ended up dead. You have to be LDS to go to the temple. Got you. They don't let me in there. So they probably had told him no before if he's not LDS. Very interesting too. The whole community, like the cop here is LDS. So she's sort of like understanding and recognizing like the names and stuff that he's throwing around. So it's just very interesting that like the cops and the whole community is involved in this church also. Again, I don't believe it's the church that Lori is like branched off into. She's like in an extreme group separate from this LDS, from my understanding. Okay, the cop, or not the cop, Charles, got you. Yeah, it's just very interesting. Don't touch the tile in a cathedral. Photographer gets kicked out. Good to know.
Prophet. He knows it. She knows about it. She'd be so thrown out Jesus Christ face to face in the temple every day. I've tried to support her as much as I could, but it's gotten really, really bad lately. She's had a break. She says, I'm Nick Snyder. I've taken over Charles's body, and Charles will get killed. I'm going to.
And for those who don't know, pretty much there are a zombie aspect to this whole crazy story as well. See how he had just said she's had a break from reality. She believes Charles has been killed, and I'm now Nick Snyder. Nick Snyder has taken over my body. So according to Lori's mind, and is this Lori or is this Charles or Chad, or is it a combination of both? Who has given him this Nick Snyder name? Was that all Lori? You know what I mean? Like, I just want to know, like, where these little things have come from. Is it simply Lori, or is it both of them? Or, it's just, see, BC says Chad. And it's going to be very interesting. I don't know. We have seen a lot of body cam footage of this case. Very interesting, guys.
Kill you. You're going to be murdered today or tomorrow. I can do it. I'm not going to my priest with my power. She does priesthood blessings. She does.
So who's Nick Snyder? Okay.
That's who I am.
Okay. Right. Okay. So he's not at church. He's not.
See how she's under the impression Nick Snyder is like a separate, right? So he's not at church. No. Nick Snyder's standing right in front of you. Yeah. I know it's Charles Vallow, but what he's trying to say is Lori has named him Nick Snyder.
She took my truck from the airport. So thanks, she took my truck from the airport last night when I flew in. She canceled my flights. I had to buy him a ticket. I took him home. I've got a 6-year-old with special needs.
Right. And he stays at school somewhere.
Right.
Okay.
For now. If she don't.
Oh my gosh. See, and that's the thing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to just, you guys know we support law enforcement here. But she's like, okay, and talking about JJ, he's at school safe. And he says, yeah, for now. Like, and he's like out of breath explaining this and just literally desperate. David said Lori got the Nick Snyder idea from Chad's books. Weird. And yes, people did die before she met Chad. There's been a few mysterious deaths. Well, actually, no, I think it was just one of her husbands was a mysterious death. Then she meets Chad, and then more mysterious deaths happen. But before Chad, I believe it was just one husband that was a mysterious death. I don't know. I think he was cremated. Zombies eat people. She thought JJ was going to eat her. Come on now. I don't know what she's thinking. Yeah, what kind of drugs were in their system? You think drugs are involved in this? The core of the case is Lori and Chad believe the world is going to end, and Chad and Lori are the leaders of the 144,000. They had a mission, kids got in the way, and spouses had to go. Crazy. Chad Daybell's children reveal authorities told them their mother was asphyxiated. Interesting. Send me that article when you can. No rush.
I'm here. She's going to go get it.
Okay. What car? What is she driving?
A black Infiniti QX80.
And you've looked all through the parking lots. Okay. All right.
You have the license plate on that?
It's KDM 62 or 63 or 67. It's handicapped.
Okay, nothing in the pin. There it is.
And I don't know where she put my truck. She took $35,000 in cash out of that account yesterday. Put my payroll. I mean, I just never thought she would do anything like this. But she's just, lost touch with reality. I'm not me. She yells. She's in here. She's scared the crap out of me.
Okay. Now, I'm assuming you guys have phones. Is that an iPhone?
Yes.
Are you able to track to see where her phone is right now? Her
right here with me.
iPhones.
The phone's with me.
Oh, your phone. Now, how did you get her phone?
Because it was in the car this morning when she brought up to school. I took the keys out of her purse out so she couldn't leave. That's why I called you guys.
Okay.
Somehow she has a purse, set the keys in left with my dog. And so I don't know where I saw this in her purse. So I think she's here. They were going to give me a key to the room. I was going to go, if you guys will come with me, see if she's in there.
We can't just go in. If you're not allowed to go in, we can't either. We can just. Okay, that's going to be up to them if they allow you to go in. Now, we can't. Now, you guys are married, so there shouldn't be. No, we're waiting for right now. What we're doing is my sergeant wanted to get some information from you. I was about to call you, but then Gary said you were here. We are just going to wait a second. My sergeant, they're on their way because we have a sergeant training. So they're going to be here. They have the paperwork. So if she is here, we knock on the door. She's here. That's why we need the paperwork in hand. Okay, so we can take her. So
tell me again real quick.
That's why we're here.
What's her first name?
Lori.
Lori. And tell me again about the vehicle. It's a black Infinity QX80. And try that license plate again.
I feel like Charles is getting frustrated at this point. Like he's almost like, I don't think they're understanding like how serious this is. Sarah Adams said if Charles couldn't stop her, who could and who would? Yeah. I mean, he's doing everything he can legally. Thank you, Lucy, for the super chat. Appreciate that very much. Like, I feel like at this, you just see in this body cam him kind of like losing hope that like something's going to be resolved at this moment. And then we have another body cam footage from this evening that took place later. So after this one, we'll play the other one. And again, this is just a recap of the case. I know you guys have seen this stuff. I just want to recap it. And then the trial is going to start in like 3 weeks.
KDM
62.
It's KDM something.
KDM 62, 63,
Something like this.
67.
Handicap plate.
Handicap.
Yes.
Is it registered to you?
Yes.
Spell your last name again.
V as in Victor, A-L-L-O-W.
Vallow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. That's an SUV that you're describing, right? Yeah. Okay, I know what it is.
I'm going to go check and see if I can go in there, and I'll be right back. Okay, sir?
Okay. Also find out if they'll give you permission to go into that room.
Well, I guess she had a second set of car keys and she was able to leave the school. That's why Team 1 wasn't able to get a hold of her. So we're not sure if she's here or not. He's thinking that he would be able to get in the room. And I said, that's up to you and that's up to the hotel. That's not what we do. So I told him that we're waiting for you with the paperwork. And that's what we've got going on right now. He thinks she's still staying here just for the reason is that he was able to grab that key out of her purse in the car at that school in Central area, wherever that school was. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you just what she's saying and the reason the 909 came out. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. We're gonna, how about we all meet back at the car? We are on the north side of that home 2 which is just west of this building. It's the building west. It's the other hotel. We'll all meet right there. All right, we'll see you in a minute. Bye. Okay, so if his truck is gone, how did he get here?
I have no idea. He didn't tell me that. By the way, I have that tour at 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll go. He wants a sidebar before we do it. Where did he go?
He went back in to find out whether or not they'll give him permission to enter into that room.
No, I don't want him going into that.
He's not going to the
not
room.
go
He's
to the room.
just,
Okay.
he's
Let's
just.
go back over to our cars. They'll be here in just a minute or two, and he wants we need to do a powwow.
Just kind of ridiculous that one cop's like got a prior engagement he's got to go to. Like, just knowing how serious this situation is, and then hearing like, well, I have that thing at 10 o'clock or whatever. And she's like, oh, I don't know. It just seemed like they were rushed. Maybe. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Again, I just feel it's just sad seeing somebody reaching out for help, just like the Gabby Petito body cam footage. You want them to get the help because the authorities are right there. And then what's about to happen. It's just unfortunate. Good morning, Sleuth Mom. It's good to see you. So let's do, hi, CB Kel. It's good to see you too. And everyone else who has joined. Watching the videos with Charles Vallow with law enforcement is one of the most frustrating and heartbreaking aspects of this case. I hate how he was treated. Agree. And it's like, I'm sure they get a lot of domestic situations where, the woman isn't the problem really. Again, I don't mean to just say that it's always the man, but I'm saying as cops, it makes me wonder if they just figured like that she wasn't as bad as she really is. Like, oh, it's just a suburban mom. Like, she's just pissed. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just wondering if like it was underestimated how bad Lori was. Like, even though like he just describes her as having a break from reality. And he did say that she's like threatened to kill him. So that was also verbalized also. But I just feel like they treated him as if like, oh, they're just having some marital problem. She'll come around or something. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's just frustrating, like you said, like seeing Charles and just knowing what's going to happen to him. So this is the same day later on.
Why don't you come over here? So what's going on tonight?
I can't get in touch with my kids.
How old are your kids?
6.5 and 16. Okay.
How long have you been trying?
2 days.
Okay.
But she's lost her mind. I don't know how else to say it. We're LDS. She thinks she's a resurrected being and a.
Yes, Sleuth Mom. She said, right. They probably were thinking, well, all women are, quote, crazy. And the point that he keeps, like he just opened it up right here. Like, she's lost her mind. And like people use that phrase loosely. Oh, you've lost your mind, etc. Blah, blah, blah. But really, though, like Charles is being serious. Like, he's not just saying it to throw around that term. Like, he's trying to tell them she's had a break from reality. Like, he said it in a few different ways. Break from reality. Lost her mind. She thinks this, she thinks that, it's awful.
And a God, and remember the 144,000. Jesus is coming next year. She took all the money out of her bank account today. My truck had gone from the airport. She went to the airport and got it. I just flew in from Dallas. So
where's your truck?
I don't know.
Okay.
A friend of mine's truck picked me up. I went to the CSI to file a report, which is the community bridges or something. File a report.
So you did the petition?
Yeah, they ordered a pickup.
Okay. What time did you do that?
Hour and a half ago.
Okay. So what makes her a danger to herself and to others?
She threatened me, murder me, kill me.
She threatened to murder you?
Yes. And she said,
How did she do that?
My bishop right there is in the car. He was on the phone with me today when she said, I will have you destroyed, was what she said there.
Okay, that's not a threat to kill you.
Yesterday was a threat to kill me.
Okay. What did she say yesterday?
She said, you're not Charles. I don't know who you are, what you did with Charles, but I can murder you now with my powers.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Says I'm gonna kill you too. Yesterday was
So she's speaking as a spiritual being.
She's not here. She's lost her reality.
Is this just all recent, or has it been going on?
It's been going on for about 4 or 5 years. It's gotten really, really bad lately. She goes to the temple every day and speaks with Moroni and Jesus Christ, and they tell her what to do.
So in 2019, he's saying it's been going on for 4 or 5 years. Now, when did she start reading Chad's books is my question. Was it around the 4 to 5 years ago part at this point? Or, because I'm just trying to lay a timeline of when she started going off her rocker. And he's claiming 4 to 5 years prior to 2019. We all know that she doesn't meet Chad until 2019 anyways. Maybe it was 2018 at like a book convention or something. Either way, I'm just curious when. Okay, so his books were in 2017, Sarah Adams said. So it's not like she was reading his books 4 to 5 years prior to this. The trial is in Rexburg, I think, not far from where I live here in Jackson, Wyoming. This case has been bonkers. Idaho has been under the bad case vibe the last couple of years. And, like I said, I've been following this since the beginning pretty much. And it's like, it just hit me that this in Idaho 4, I don't know how far Moscow is from this place, but yeah, Idaho definitely has a few characters coming out of there. But thanks for being here, Dustin. No, from what I understand, she didn't start reading his books until 2018. Okay. Thanks, guys.
And now she came to her today, and last couple of days she says, I'm not Charles. You're not Charles. You're Nick Schneider. I don't know where she gets his names from. She got all this stuff from these people in Utah who tell her how many past lives she's had and probation she's had. And she's was married to Moroni way back when, and she was also married to James the Just. And
Okay, this is all foreign to me. So
it's foreign to me.
Well, I'm not LDS.
It's crazy stuff.
I know you're using LDS terms here.
But it's just
seeing this cop is like not understanding. Like it's the things that he's saying aren't 100% LDS. Like the things about him being Nick Snyder and all this other stuff. It's just frustrating to see that like this LDS aspect in the community, it almost seems like it's created a barrier. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? Jesse said this cop is a jerk. It's like he was more quick to say like, oh, I'm not LDS, more than he's trying to understand like, who's Nick Snyder? What do you mean? Like, why is she trying to destroy you? I don't know. It's just like they're saying all the wrong stuff. Sleuthmon said, I think it all started with that Julie, and then later she met Chad. Oh boy, yeah, it does go back. Julie, we'll have to brush up on. There's a lot of people in this too, guys. The cop is so dismissive. I agree. Yeah, Karen, the volume is turned up as far as I can do it. I don't know that the body cam just isn't the best here. Let me make sure that the closed captioning are on this one because I forgot to put them on like the other. So I hope that helps a little bit.
It's just she's nonsensical.
Okay.
And I haven't seen much.
Is he the older one or the younger one?
He's 6.5 years old.
Okay.
Okay. I want to do this now. You've got a pickup order. Am I correct?
We do.
Okay. If she doesn't answer, what do we do?
If she doesn't answer, we can't enforce the order.
Can I break into my house?
Do you live here?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
My lease. I paid the lease.
Do you guys have any orders of protections against you?
No, we do not.
So, no police reports?
No, nothing.
Okay. So how does she pose a threat to your children?
I don't know what she's going to do with them. I don't know if she's going to flee with them. She's going to hurt them.
You don't even know if she's here, right?
Today on the phone. I can't. All the cars are. The garage is closed. I don't know. She locked the garage door.
I know.
Haven't been up there yet.
I know.
She
But what I'm
said
hold on.
today- Sorry.
What I'm saying is, do you normally park 2 vehicles in the garage, inside the garage?
Correct.
Okay. So it's a possibility that her car and your truck are inside there?
I don't think she could fit my truck in her car at the same time. She may put them somewhere else. She said to me, all your stuff is gone. Charles' stuff is gone. You're not Charles, your stuff is gone. I don't know what that
And
means.
how long have you been trying to get in touch with the kids?
Since yesterday.
Since yesterday. Like last night or yesterday morning? Or?
About landed in Houston Tuesday about 10.
Okay. Why did you leave?
Business trip in Houston.
Okay. And when did you leave?
Tuesday morning about 5 a.m.
Okay. Tuesday. All right. Wow. It's
Wednesday night.
So you left yesterday?
Yeah.
You left yesterday morning.
Mhm.
Flew to Houston. Flew back today?
Tonight.
Tonight.
She canceled my flight. She came to the airport, took my truck.
Did she tell you that?
No, she knows the code. She knows where it's parked. She wouldn't.
Did she go with you to the airport?
No, but I go to the airport. I fly 45 round trips a year. She knows where I park. I've got handicap plates because JJ's handicapped.
Uh-huh.
So,
Did you file a stolen
no,
vehicle
I
report
didn't,
with
but I
Phoenix?
know she took it.
How do you know? You suspect?
I suspect.
Okay.
I suspect.
All right.
I know your term. So,
okay.
Yeah. But
Without concrete evidence, we can't say.
I
For sure.
suspect.
Okay.
And she has the keys, the code. It's a Ford. The code, door code.
Door code.
And I just want to see my boys okay. And she's got a pickup order. I need to go. She needs to go, and I'm gonna take my stuff.
So you normally live here?
Yeah, oh yeah, I live here.
Okay.
Yeah, all my stuff's in my house.
Okay.
We got a service dog in there, beautiful dog. My daughter's in the front window right there.
So let me ask you this: when you came back, why didn't you just go to the home?
Because she told me not to come near it. All my stuff is gone.
Okay.
I'm not stupid. She could have done anything.
Okay.
I thought this would be the best way to do it. With what she's gone through and what Gabe witnessed with me on the phone today, I thought it was best to have her. She's psychologically, she's gone. Something's happened to her.
How old is she?
45.
45.
Beautiful
So,
woman, just
if we talk to her, is she going to be able to have a rational conversation with us?
Oh, she will. I'm sure she will.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just.
She'll probably tell me I'm crazy, huh? Is that what you suspect?
Okay. You're a dark spirit. What she's going to tell you.
Okay.
I'm a dark spirit. Gabe's gonna be. He's our bishop. He's gonna be a dark spirit. Whatever that means. You're evil.
And you said this has been going on for like 4 years?
Well, it's to an extent, but it's gotten really bad the last several months. And I've been trying to ignore it because hoping it'll get better.
Is she on any medications?
No, she won't do medications.
Has she been to a doctor?
She won't go to the doctor because she's a translated being, and they would find out she's translated. She cannot be killed. She cannot die.
And that's what she thinks?
Yes.
Okay. And she's been telling you that?
Yes, and Gabe too.
Okay.
He heard this, not just me. This isn't coming. I love her to death. This is killing the officer.
Oh, I can understand.
Our 13th anniversary is next month. We've done had a great marriage. All of a sudden, the last month it just blew up.
Mm-hmm.
She just lost connection.
Okay. So has she made any statements about wanting to hurt? Okay, but she didn't make a direct threat towards the kids.
No, not a direct threat.
Okay. And then she said that she would murder you through a spiritual.
No, she said.
See, he just told the cop that she told somebody that she didn't care what happened to the kids. And then the cop goes, so she didn't make a direct threat at them. And it's like, but that's sort of a threat in a way, like your mother to say she didn't care what happened to the kids. It sort of still should be like a red flag. And he's like, but she didn't say this. And it's like, okay, let's just hear that again, because I just feel like him saying that she didn't care about what happened to the kids is still as big of a red flag as saying, that she wished harm on them.
Okay. And then she said that she would murder you through a spiritual.
No, I can murder you.
I can murder you.
And
Oh, I can understand.
Our 13th anniversary next month. We've done that at marriage. All of a sudden, the last month it just blew up.
Mm-hmm.
She just lost connection.
Okay. So Has she made any statements about wanting to hurt the children or anything?
Today she said with Gabe on the phone, come take the kids. I don't care what happens today. Come take them.
Okay, but she didn't make a direct threat towards the kids.
No, not a direct threat.
Okay. And then she said that she would murder you through a spiritual.
No, she said, I can murder you.
I can murder you.
And,
and she's talking in a
I will kill you.
Spiritual.
No, she's talking physically. I will kill you because you're not Charles, and nobody will care.
Okay. So she at this point doesn't think you are her husband?
She thinks I'm Mick Schneider.
Who's Mick Schneider?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's the name she used. I don't know where it came from.
Okay.
I'm just like, I'm as bewildered as you are. This is so foreign to me. Normal people.
Let me just pause it for 1 second. Brooke said, I need to catch up on this case. I'm so lost. So that I've just decided after we play this body cam, because we see we have, a few minutes of it still to go. I put together some clips to kind of run down the case, but those clips are like 17 minutes. So I was thinking after this, I would say goodbye to you guys. I like to just keep it under 2 hours. And then I'd just play those clips through again for those who killed us later on. Or I just read Karen's comment, I will kill you as a threat. Oh my gosh, I need more coffee. All right, no, let me run through those clips for those who joined us later on in this stream. And then we'll end the stream out. So the other thing I wanted to say too is for those who are having a hard time letting go the Murdaugh case, let me know in chat who are still kind of obsessed with Murdaugh, even though the trial is over, because I've found myself stuck in that rabbit hole still. So I was thinking that we would listen together to the jail phone calls with Alex. So obviously those calls were before the trial, but I was thinking of listening to it with you guys live starting Friday, and then we can kind of listen to the calls, knowing now what we know now after the trial, after his sentencing, etc. I just want to jump into those with you guys. We've gone through everything else that has been presented in that case, as far as, the timeline of everything, the trial, body cam footage. We've gone through all that. The only thing I haven't dove into with you guys is the jail phone calls. And even though they were before the trial, I think with everything that we know now, it'd be interesting to listen to those guys talk on the phone while he's in prison, etc. So Karen said she'd love that. Okay, Jesse is still obsessed too. Yeah, I definitely want to hear. All right, guys. So I just wanted to test that out with you guys to see if you guys were on board with that. So let me finish playing this. This is Lorivallow's husband, Charles, who was killed by her brother, Alex, who then later died of a heart attack, quote unquote. This is just crazy case. After this plays this little segment of the body cam, then I'll play those clips through again, which is like 17 minutes, but I'll play them all the way through, whereas in the beginning of the stream, we paused it.
People, as far as I'm concerned, that, this happened, it just drives me, I don't know what to do. I need help, and she needs help. She needs help. And I'll go to bed. I got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. I got to take my son to
And you
school,
just didn't want to go inside because of the statements that she made?
She took my car and I suspect she took my car and my keys. I have no keys to get in.
Oh, okay.
No garage door opener.
Okay.
She knows what she's doing. She took $35,000 out of our bank account today. I can't make payroll Friday for my company. She changed our bank account numbers. I had to change it myself to get back in, and I saw all the money's gone. I've got $7 in my name.
So, what's your first name again? Charles. Charles lives here with his wife and 2 children. Charles was away on business.
Third nephew upstairs. His name is Zach. He's 19. He's our nephew. He's been staying with us.
Have you tried to call him?
He won't call me back either.
Why won't he call you back? Okay.
That's what I'm worried about. I hope they're okay, but I don't know.
It's valid. All right. So, if we can't make contact,
If he wants to let us in, how we're doing this. To break the window, I can try to.
where I was going with this, he was in Houston on a business trip, and then he flies back in to Sky Harbor, and his truck's gone. He suspects that she went there and took the truck. He doesn't know.
My wallet in it, so.
All right. So, all right. Is it this house or the one with the flashing lights?
Right there.
Oh, where those palm trees are?
And I can try the key code on the garage. I don't know if they changed it or not. I think I know the code. We just moved in January 1st. And Gabe Bonilla here lives right down the corner. He will tell you if you were on the phone with her today with me. I passed it in and she said all this.
Does she have any weapons inside the house?
Yes, she does.
She does?
Right.
Does she know how to use
I
it?
don't know if she knows how to use it.
Does it?
Usually have to have star or pound.
Do you have an alarm system?
No. Oh, they changed it. Oh, there you go. Cars are all gone. She is gone. I don't know where my kids are. They're all gone.
Is there anything in her place in here like she might have taken off somewhere?
Oh, 4 cars are gone.
Oh, yeah, 4 cars.
Yeah. My daughter has one. Zach, our nephew, has one. I have my truck, and she has an Infinity. Okay. I don't know where my son is.
Who's the oldest?
You have the right to force entry, so.
Who's the oldest child?
I've got 3 in college, so they're gone.
Who lives here? That's the
Zach is
oldest.
16. Zach is 19. He's our nephew. He's living here.
Okay. And you tried calling him?
Yes.
Why won't he answer?
I don't know. He won't answer. She's got him buffaloed too. I don't know what she told him.
And then
There's back doors, but they're locked up.
You already checked them?
Yeah. Well, I'm done. But there's a key to the I gotta adjust this gate to get out of the pool to go to the back door.
AG1 is so much more than a green space.
yeah, you'll have to call. It was at Sky Harbor, right? You'll have to call Phoenix Police and they'll get all your information. You don't have a hidden key?
No, it's in the house.
So it's not hidden?
JJ can open it, but we have to keep those locks really.
Understand.
Keep the letter.
So the dog is gone too?
Obviously, he'd be barking. He doesn't bark much as a service dog. Very well trained, but he would be barking. They wouldn't leave him here. He's a part of the program. So I'm gonna go try the back door. I may break the window. Is that okay?
It's up to you if you want to break the window. If I was going to break something, I'd probably break your garage door. Because you can still secure your garage once your window's broken.
Just check the windows, and if it's not locked, come back. Or if it's locked, come back.
I open that door?
That would be my suggestion, is if you're gonna break something, break that door, because you can still lock it in the garage.
You want to check your front door to make sure it's not unlocked?
If that gate is locked, I would go and trust me, I know. It's there. So it's just a bit.
The swift kick will do it.
I'll do a mule kick. Try that first. You gotta get closer to the.
It's not easy to look on TV, is it?
Oh, at least your deadbolt worked.
I'll give you my letters. You gave me out of here. You can get that this late anyway. Gay, come on over. John. Anybody in there? Anybody at the house? Anybody in there?
An empty bed.
Yeah. Get your travel and I'll get my stuff out. I'll figure out a way to get in.
You don't have a dog door? You have a dog door?
She's taking my son. If he's not at school tomorrow, I don't know what she's done. Nobody will call me.
You have any tools?
Point could they sorry guys at this point could they not file like an Amber Alert, because the mother is taken off with his child. JJ is legally his. Tylee, he hasn't adopted, I don't think, but either way that's his stepdaughter, but JJ is legally his son. So is there no way that like they could file at least an Amber report? Can't the cop help him out? I believe with his permission, you would think. Like he's telling him to do the mule kick or whatever. But I don't know, maybe like legally he just doesn't want to put himself in the position of being part of like breaking the entrance. I don't know. I was confused there too, why the cop wasn't helping, but I don't know. Don't the police have a ramming tool? Yeah, don't they have that thing? Or maybe that's just for the SWAT team. You would think that he'd be able to at least do the Amber Alert or something, right? Yeah, the cop seems uninterested. No, they're totally married and both have custody. But if one parent, I'm sorry, takes off with one of your children, can't you file like an Amber Alert?
You're welcome to.
Normally we don't, but if we get hurt, but you want to try it?
How about it?
Did he just say no because they'd get hurt? Hold on.
Any tool?
You're welcome to.
Normally we don't, but if we get hurt, but you want to try it?
How about it? You want us to enter the home, right?
Clear, sir. Yes, please.
Door, please. Anybody in the house?
Okay.
Police department.
Here, just hang tight right there.
What's that?
Just hang tight right here.
There's a bunch of empty shelving. Right here.
Guys, what happens
Hang
with
tight. Hang tight.
JJ's bedroom?
Hold on.
You know he's out here.
Pictures are off the wall.
This room clear? Is it?
All clear.
Oh my God. I can't do that. She's. What have I done?
Is that house key? I think there might be a house key down here. Yeah.
So she had taken and gotten rid of all his stuff, right, guys? All right, let me say that we will meet back here live on Friday morning. I'll play those clips through again for those who didn't see it in the beginning. We talked through the clips in the beginning, so this time I'll just play them through without pausing. But yeah, thanks for being here, everybody. So Sorry, my StreamYard is being very like touchy this morning. We'll meet here on Friday morning. We'll start going through the Murdoch jail phone calls with the perspective that we have now after the trial and everything that we've gone through on the Murdoch case, because I'm still stuck in that rabbit hole. But again, the Lorivallow case starts in 3 weeks. The trial will begin. And yeah, thanks for being here, everybody. Let me play this through without pausing. So this is goodbye. And then this is all just a sum up with clips from all various sources. Hope you guys like it. And thanks for being here again. And talk to you guys soon.
Mr. Sandman, bring me a drink.
I have a wonderful husband, Joseph, at home, who is watching our 2 beautiful children, Colby, who's 7, and Tylee, who is 1. I want to go. Okay. Gopher, Doc, Isaac, and Captain Stubing. Yeah.
Being a good mom is very important to me, and a good wife. Being all those things together is not easy, so I'm basically a ticking time bomb.
The Lord was instructing me to do.
Lori was his follower. Chaddaybell's the prophet.
Chad had a vision, plagues, and foreign troops coming to the soil.
Chad wrote about his ability to communicate with people on the other side of the veil and see into the future after having 2 near-death experiences. His ideas also included the existence of past lives and that people could become possessed by demons or zombies.
Long story. She's had kind of a dreadful reality. She thinks you're LDS?
Yes.
She thinks she's married to Coral now in the past.
You think she's what?
Married to Coral now at the top of the temple. I've tried as much as I could, but it's gotten really Nick Schneider. I've taken over Charles' body. And Charles has been killed. I'm going to kill you. You're murdered today or tomorrow.
How does she pose a threat to your children?
I don't know what she's going to do with them.
I just went back to the living room. Like, what is your problem?
With the gun again?
Yes. And I said, I want you to put that bat down. He wouldn't do it. He's like, and he came at me with the bat again after he'd already hit me in the head. So I shot him to stop him.
Gotcha. How long have you guys lived here? How long have you lived here?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, geez. Yeah, okay.
That's why the neighbors said no.
Gotcha.
Like, hi neighbor, sorry.
Are you calling in reference to a death claim?
Yes.
Okay, one moment, please. May I have the name of the insured?
L. Charles Vallow.
And who am I speaking with?
This is Lorivallow.
And your relationship to the insured?
He's my husband.
Okay, one moment. Okay, ma'am, I'm just going to need to ask you a few questions so that I can open the claim, and then I can go over the claim procedure with you and answer any questions that you have afterwards.
That would be great.
Okay, and what was the date of Mr. Vallow's passing?
July 11th.
And what was the cause of his passing?
Well, he was shot.
Okay.
So I don't know how I want to put that.
Okay. All right. And I hate to ask, but is it yes or no?
No, it was an accident.
An accident. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what state did he pass away in?
Arizona.
Okay. Okay. Just bear with me for one moment. I just need to pull up a few other things.
Okay.
Are you aware of who the primary beneficiary of the policy is?
It's me.
Okay. And may I have your, I'm sorry, one moment. My computer just went away for a second. Okay. Okay, ma'am. That is all the information I need to open the claim. What we will do now is review the policy and the file to confirm the beneficiary information and determine the claim requirements that we will need to settle this particular claim. Once we have completed our review, we will prepare a claim packet to send to the named beneficiary once that has been confirmed. And the claim packet can either be mailed or emailed or faxed. How would you like to receive the correspondence? Email would be great. Okay, and what is your email address? All right, so you should receive an email from our office within the next 3 to 5 business days or sooner. It will have the instructions listed. Once you receive the information, if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to give our office a call, and then we can go from there. Okay, is there anything I can help you with at this time? That's it, I think. Okay, ma'am. Well, I'm very sorry for your loss. You take care of yourself. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
J.J. Vallow and his sister, Tylee Ryan, have been missing since September 23rd. Their fathers are both dead, and their mother, Lori, is married to her 5th husband, Chaddaybell, whose wife, Tammy, died several weeks before their marriage. Lori was previously married to Kay's brother, Charles, who was shot to death by Lori's brother, Alex Cox, who is also dead. The Woodcocks say they are aware of Lori's participation in an end times cult and say she believes she's a god.
She believes it.
She believes it. She's a translated being, and she's been here on Earth, I think, 4 times. As different, at different time periods.
2,000 years.
They believe end times obsession and selfish desire for their own gratification is what has driven this series of events that resulted in 2 children.
In their minds, the end is going to be July 22nd of 2020. That is when the second coming of Christ will be happening.
According to them.
According to them. And they are in charge of getting the 144,000 people that will be left to on Earth to start the world all over again, I believe is how they say it.
They say before Lori was a loving, devoted mother. The Woodcocks have been on numerous national news programs and others across the country. They hope telling their story will help bring the children home safely.
All we want at this point is to get find JJ and Tylee.
And to JJ,
I don't know what I could tell JJ right now other than dropping down to my knees and just holding him and just tell him how much I loved him, how much I missed him. And that goes for both of us.
They thank Southwest Louisiana for their outpouring of love and support and ask for continued prayers to the children.
Well, my family, well, not my whole family, but as you know, most of my family is working against me and with her, basically. Yeah. Is JJ safe? He is safe and happy. Okay, well, that's good to hear. Are you afraid of anything? Like, are you afraid to tell me that you're just afraid that he that could be in danger? Like like I don't, like if I knew, like how could that hurt me? I don't understand how that could hurt me if I knew where he was. Well, I'm just not telling anybody so that nobody has to say where he is or get questioned to where he is, so I can keep him as safe as possible. Yeah. Okay. I hope that he's okay. I hope you guys are okay. I did have a question that I asked Al at one point, your brother, if I wanted to know, like where he was, and he said I did not want to know, and that he could not be found. So what does that mean? I don't know why he would say that, but it's the same story. Like I don't even want Al to know. I don't want anybody to know, so that nobody has to be worried about it. I mean, nobody has to be questioned about it, so he can be safe.
Then I was emailing her and texting her. We call her, both of us, leave voicemails, just both of us would, and just never a response, not a nothing. It just freaked us out because I just didn't know what else to do. And I was on the phone with the detectives all the time in Arizona. And then, here we go to, in October, we knew that they were bringing the FBI into this.
JJ and Tylee's extended family hired private investigator Rich Robertson for help.
I mean, that's the most mysterious thing. I mean, all of this attention and all of this speculation, all this anxiety would just simply evaporate if they just said, here are the kids.
Rexburg, Idaho pleaded with the public for help. 2 children were missing and hadn't been seen since September. 7-year-old Joshua J.J. Vallow was described as having special needs, including autism. Police said his 16-year-old sister, Tylee Ryan, was devoted to him. The FBI and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children were part of the search. Police said this doorbell camera footage was the last known video of JJ. But police said the children's mother, Lorivallow, wasn't helping to find them and had never reported them missing at all.
Authorities are still searching for Vallow's children.
Old JJ Vallow and 17-year-old Tylee Ryan have been missing for more than 5 months now, and their mother, Lorivallow, still refuses to cooperate with police.
She's been in Hawaii with her new husband, Chaddaybell, for the past several weeks. Now the latest Dateline episode is shedding new light on what happened to JJ's father and Lori's ex-husband, Charles Vallow.
As we've reported, Lori's brother Alex Cox shot and killed Charles this past July in Arizona. But now new details about what else Lori did that day and how she reacted is raising some red flags.
And is he hurt or is he alive? Or?
Yeah, there's blood. He's not moving.
On July 11th, 2019, Lorivallow's brother Alex Cox called 911 to report he had just killed Charles Vallow, JJ's father and Lori's estranged husband.
I got in a fight with my brother-in-law and I shot him in self-defense. He came at me with a bat.
Lori, JJ, and Tylee were all home at the time. As police questioned Lori, she didn't appear rattled or upset, even laughing at one point.
How long have you lived here?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, geez. Yeah, okay.
That's why the neighbors don't know us.
Gotcha.
Like, hi neighbor, sorry.
Arizona detectives say throughout Lori's interview with police, she wasn't fazed.
It was kind of like a happy-go-lucky. She was just kind of smiling. She was talking about how Tylee was going to go to BYU, Hawaii, and it was just a very, very nonchalant. You would have thought that we just, recovered their stolen vehicle.
Cox is shown here dabbing at a wound he says he got after Charles hit him with the bat.
It definitely didn't appear that he was struck with, an extreme amount of force to a baseball bat. Charles was a very physically fit man, and actually a former college ball player, so it didn't appear that it was a huge strike to the head.
The same day Charles was killed, neighbors say Lori threw a pool party.
How can everyone be so calm and, seemingly so unaffected?
That's Tylee's aunt, Annie Cushing. She believes that what Lori and Cox told police was a cover-up. And because the children were witnesses, that's why they're missing.
I do wonder with Tylee if she was asked to toe the line to keep everyone out of prison.
The day after Charles was killed, Lori told Charles's 2 sons from a previous marriage that their father had died via text message.
And I couldn't believe that she did that in that way. I mean, I wish she would have called me and said, can you please tell Cole? But to do it so brutal through a text was just, it was horrible.
And of course, we know that Alex Cox, he died mysteriously.
Tell us where the kids are.
But Lori and Chad stayed quiet, issuing a statement via their attorney at the time, calling Chad a, quote, loving husband and Lori a, quote, devoted mother. As the search continued for JJ and Tylee, East Idaho News' Nate Eaton tracked the couple down on the sunny island of Kauai, thousands of miles away from Idaho.
Just tell us where they are. Where are your kids? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say? You're over here in Hawaii? Chad, where are Lori's kids?
Heading out today?
No comments.
Where are your kids? There's a lot of people who are worried about your kids. Are you guys worried about?
Got a search warrant for you guys.
Police executing a search warrant on the couple in their car found Tylee's cell phone and items belonging to JJ, but there was no sign of the kids. Authorities in Idaho had given Lori a January 30th deadline to prove the kids were okay, but she didn't show up. Then, on February 20th, Lori was arrested in Kauai and charged with felony desertion of JJ and Tylee and misdemeanor charges of resisting and obstructing an officer, solicitation of a crime, and contempt. Lori made her first court appearance in Kauai before being extradited to Idaho. Her former high school friend, Bernadette Flores Lopez, couldn't believe the girl she remembered as a devout Mormon cheerleader was in the news for this.
I think she's so brainwashed and so far gone. This person that she's married to is writing books about Doomsday and end of the world, and I know her book, her Mormon religion don't teach that.
There's people around the country praying for your children, praying for you guys. Why don't you give us answers?
That's great.
That's great.
Even after Lori was arrested, she still refused to say anything about where the kids were.
Lori, where are your kids? How come you're not telling anybody where your kids are?
I found their address on Amazon in November, but really by then it was way too late. I mean, they were both dead within 3 weeks of her moving to Idaho.
Detectives and investigators have recovered what's believed to be human remains.
Chaddaybell's residence.
Allegations of zombies and doomsday predictions. Lori and Chaddaybell appeared in court today on charges related to the deaths of her 2 children. Prosecutors say the 2 used their religious beliefs in an effort to justify the murders.
Of course, we know that Alex Cox, he died mysteriously in December. The results of his autopsy are still pending.
Think about all the people that had to die and disappear.
A web of 5 suspicious deaths and allegedly cult-like religious beliefs.
This is the search for a killer.
The penalty for the most serious charges range from life in prison to the death penalty.
Prosecutors claim the couple used their belief in doomsday scenarios to justify the killing.
Daybell's son Colby can be seen calling his imprisoned.
How are you, Bubba?
I'm not good, Mom. He confronts her with allegations that she killed his 2 siblings. Their bodies were found buried on her 5th husband Chad's property. He's also awaiting trial.
Lorivallow Daybell was silent as she faced multiple counts in an Idaho courtroom, including first-degree murder in the deaths of her children. Her attorney pleaded not guilty on her behalf.
Your Honor, she intends to remain silent.
Today's arraignment was delayed 10 months after she was declared mentally unfit to stand trial. Last week, a judge ruled her competent. JJ's grandparents, Larry and Kay Woodcock, believe she knew what she was doing.
She was never incompetent to begin with.
It was a fallacy.
JJ and Tylee were last seen in September 2019 after their mother allegedly told friends her children were zombies. Lawyers for the couple declined, but in 2021, Daybell's 5 children told me he was innocent.
Then why were their bodies found buried in your father's backyard?
I don't know, but I do know that if he were to commit a crime, he wouldn't be foolish enough to put the evidence in his own backyard. It was just so heartbreaking. My father needs someone to be a voice for him, to let people know what's real, what we know.
I can understand how it's easier to be ignorant than to realize what's right in front of you.
Prosecutors say evidence includes text messages and GPS data leading to where the children were buried.
Did your father, Chad Daybell, play any role in killing JJ and Tylee?
No. It's completely unthinkable.
How is it possible 2 children are found buried in your father's backyard and he had nothing to do with it?
He was framed.
I would have never thought you would have ever done something like this.
What is it that you think that I've done?
Are you sorry for me, or are you sorry for my siblings?
I'm sorry that you don't really fully understand the situation.
Lori Daybell can only ponder how her once promising life has led her to this.
It's just so hard to know where the truth ends and then fiction begins.
There's no way, Logan, I should ever come up with this.